Dragon Ball Super Superhero, the 2022 Dragon Ball Super movie, is already a smash hit in Japan and about to premiere all over the world later this summer. The ending of Dragon Ball Super Superhero became one of the most talked about aspects of the movie, but also may have confused a lot of Dragon Ball fans. So on this video, I present the ending of Dragon Ball Super Superhero Explained as thoroughly as possible, but I must warn you right now, this video will contain spoilers for the plot and the story of Dragon Ball Super Superhero, so if you're trying to avoid finding out about the ending of this film and what it really means, this is not the video for you. That's your last warning. Let's get to the explanation next. If you're a male and concerned about maintaining your hair as youthful as possible as you age, Keeps can help. After speaking to a doctor through Keeps, they personalize a plan for you and mail the medicine to your doorstep. It's fast, easy, and discreet and customized for every person. And you can also stay in contact with the doctor to ask any questions you may have about your treatment plan. Click the link in the description or go to keeps.com/geekdom for 50% off your first order. You ain't getting any younger, so don't wait. Once again, I want to reiterate that this is going to contain spoilers for the end of the film. Last warning, here we go. The final battle of Dragon Ball Super Superhero involves Piccolo, Gohan, and the others trying to destroy the gigantic and powerful Cell Max, the true secret weapon from the Red Ribbon Army that has a frightening amount of power and gave our heroes a hard time. Realizing earlier that they were lied to by the Red Ribbon figurehead Magenta, the Gammas and Dr. Hito turned good and informed us that the weak spot on Cell Max is inside of the top of his head. Unlike the previous incarnation of Cell, who had a nucleus that it's been theorized can move throughout his body, but is mostly inside of his brain to regenerate, Cell Max does not have regenerative abilities like the original Cell. That, of course, leads to Gamma 2 sacrificing himself, attempting to kill Cell Max, but only disarming one of his arms, and he could not grow it back. He does not have Piccolo cells. And speaking of Piccolo, it's up to Piccolo and Gohan now to beat him after Gamma 2 sacrificed himself. So Piccolo was using his new orange Piccolo form and grows giant to compete with Cell in equal size one-on-one. During this big kaiju battle, Piccolo gives Gohan an inspirational speech to try to get him to tap into all of his latent potential power and finish off Cell Max. Shortly after, Cell Max begins to pummel Piccolo consistently, and we literally witness him getting so thrashed that we saw blood in Dragon Ball for the first time in ages. At one point, Cell Max fires a barrage of energy blasts at Orange Piccolo, knocking him unconscious to the point where the audience and even Gohan think that he was killed in this battle. So Gohan witnesses Cell Max holding up the apparently deceased body of Piccolo over his head in victory, and Gohan taps into a new form never before seen in Dragon Ball, where he has white, silverish hair, red eyes, and a nice mixture of a purple and light blue aura. Cell Max tries to attack Gohan with an uppercut, being literally 10 times his size or something like that, and Gohan just smiles at him and says, "Is that all you've got?" and issues an incredible counterattack. Sensing that his existence was in danger, Cell Max creates a giant green ki blast that was bigger than any single blast we've seen in the history of Dragon Ball. It's even bigger than Beerus's move he used in Battle of Gods. Cell Max is prepared to launch this ball at Gohan, but then we find out that Piccolo is indeed alive, trying to use his stretchy arm technique to hold Cell Max down so that Gohan can issue the finishing blow. Gohan then powers up and fires the Makanko Sapo, otherwise known as the Special Beam Cannon, which is the move that Piccolo developed all the way in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z and used it originally to kill Goku. Gohan fires this blast, it shreds right through Cell's ki blast and hits Cell directly in the forehead, destroying him permanently. Once Gohan was able to take all of this newfound incredible power and focus it onto one specific blast targeting one specific weak spot, every molecule in Cell Max's body began to implode on itself, and eventually we witness Cell Max's body literally exploding, which was very similar to the scene back in Dragon Ball Z when the original Cell exploded on Earth when Goku sacrificed himself to teleport him over to Kai's planet. So what is this mysterious new form that Gohan tapped into? Was there any foreshadowing for this? And how powerful is it truly? Well, when it comes to power, unfortunately, we only saw this form for a very brief time, and we haven't seen Gohan truly utilize it with his absolute max power. So it's very difficult to quantify how strong he is, but I'm going to get to what he said in the movie in just a moment. First of all, this form actually was somewhat foreshadowed all the way back in Dragon Ball Super. There was an episode in the build-up to the Tournament of Power where Gohan literally states to his own father, he says, "My goal is an ultimate form that no one has ever seen before." And that's exactly what we got here in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. Now, when it comes to the actual look of this form, where was the idea inspired from? Well, in the early conceptual designs for the Super Saiyan transformation, Goku had red pupils and a bit of a lighter tone with his hair. Later on, this was changed to where Super Saiyans have usually green or blue eyes, but they originally had red. So Akira Toriyama, who created the series and wrote the film and the designs for these characters, chose to bring that design back to illustrate Gohan's new form. Interestingly enough, Gohan and Piccolo both resemble more like villains than heroes when they get into these new forms. And I think that was done on purpose because this movie plays with the idea of what is a hero and what's not. The Gammas and Hito thought that the main characters, the good guys, were the bad guys, but yet their forms make them look bad. I would say more like badass because Gohan looked really, really terrifying, even though it also looked ridiculous, but that's only my opinion. If you want to learn more about Toriyama's original concept for the red-eyed Super Saiyan, I did do a video covering this in detail with behind-the-scenes info, so check that video out here on the Geekdom 101 channel. This transformation that Gohan did in this film was meant to pretty much mirror Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 transformation in Dragon Ball Z, with the red beam going through his head, him snapping and having outrageously tall hair, even taller than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's hair during the fight with Cell, giving him a totally outrageous appearance that some fans love and some fans didn't love. Now, what about the white hair? What's interesting about the white hair is that for years in the Latin American Dragon Ball community, there was a meme going around about a form that Gohan would someday get called Gohan Blanco, which is Gohan with white hair. Lo and behold, somebody who produced this film thought, hey, let's make that real, and that's exactly what happened. Having a transformation have white hair is not anything new to Dragon Ball. We heard Toriyama discuss this years ago as the original idea behind the transformation that would come after Super Saiyan God. He wound up changing his mind and going with the blue hair on that one, but he said he would save this white hair for a future form. We later saw it with Murasamasu, but here, this transformation that Gohan uses is much more like a traditional transformation than any of the God transformations we've seen Goku use, like God, Ultra Instinct, etc. It also appears to be triggered more so by rage, just like the classic forms were. This is not a godly technique and does not use God Ki, because nowhere in this story was it ever stated that Gohan trained with Whis or Beerus. So this transformation is much more of a primal, mortal transformation. But where did it come from? Well, there's a lot of theories out there. Originally based on script leaks from Toei, it was only referred to as Final Gohan, but recently Toriyama himself revealed that this form was called Sun Gohan Beast or Beast Gohan. So Beast Mode is a thing now. He would go on to state that it was a unique evolution based off Gohan's awakenings as a boy, aka SS2, except obviously much more powerful. In order to figure out where this form came from, you have to go back to Dragon Ball Z. There is a scene in Dragon Ball Z where the Elder Kai is unlocking Gohan's power, and this is how he was able to get to Ultimate. There's a scene where Gohan powers up, and the aura that we see looks very familiar to what we saw Gohan used as final Gohan in Dragon Ball Super Superhero. So what could this actually be? Well, the one thing that makes a lot of sense is if you go back and look at all the times that Gohan used Ultimate Gohan, he almost never tapped into his rage. He almost never was pushed to the brink. During the Majin Buu fight, he did the best he could, but he wasn't really full of anger and rage the way that he was against Cell. Same thing with other fights later in the series. So what makes sense to me is that this transformation that Gohan used is probably a combination of Ultimate Gohan's true power finally unleashed, as well as him being incredibly angry and filled with rage when he thinks that Piccolo is dead. Now, what about the ending of the movie and what Gohan says to Piccolo about how he believes that Goku and Vegeta would probably not have been able to beat Cell Max? Now, to me, there's a couple of things going on here. A lot of Gohan fans have taken this as it meaning that final Gohan is more powerful than Goku and Vegeta. And there's a couple of things that shoot holes in that theory. Number one, even though this film was written before the Granola and Moro arcs of the manga, it came out after, and so that leads me to believe that the idea for Ultra Ego and even the various different Ultra Instinct versions was not even thought up until probably after this movie was written. On top of that, Gohan has never seen Goku and Vegeta train with the gods. He has no clue how strong they've actually gotten. He's just assuming that based on what he has seen. Gohan's never seen Ultra Ego. He's never seen Goku during the Granola arc, so he's pretty much just guessing at this point. And a lot of Gohan fans may not like that, but we're not really gonna know if this form is stronger than Goku or Vegeta until we see it tested against Goku and Vegeta or another character who is relative to their power. And of course, that remains to be seen. However, series creator Akira Toriyama made a statement where he said Orange Piccolo was on par with Goku. He didn't specify which form of Goku, he just said Goku. So if Orange Piccolo is on par with Goku, and Orange Piccolo was thrashed by Cell Max in the film, which he was, and Gohan was able to defeat Cell Max, then that would imply that Gohan is stronger than Goku. However, remember this, not only did we not get specifications on which version of Goku he's talking about, Gohan also hit Cell Max's weak spot, which presumably Goku and Vegeta could have also hit and beaten him too. So again, we don't have a concrete answer. Plus, you have to take into account the speed boost that Goku gets in UI. So I'll do a deeper dive into this debate in a future video. So right now, make sure that you're subscribed and you hit the bell so that way you'll get all the content, including that video, when it comes out. The last thing I want to discuss is the post-credit scene. Earlier in the film, Whis orders Goku and Vegeta to have a sparring match without using any energy blast or transformations in their base forms. So they're having this martial arts fight, and we see the conclusion of it after the credits where it looks like Vegeta landed the final blow and was able to defeat Goku in the sparring match. Again, it's just a sparring match, they're not using transformations, but because Vegeta earlier in the film was meditating and getting his mind right, he was able to dish out that final blow and beat Goku and get another W on him. It's implied that when these guys train together like this, it's kind of back and forth. It's kind of seesaw. One guy will win, the other guy will win. But the whole point is that they are, like what was said in the past, getting stronger by training with each other. And that is the ending of Dragon Ball Super Superhero Explained. Thanks for watching. Take care. And if you like this video, check these out as well.